Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. So we're gonna discuss jealousy and envy. Well, mainly what we're gonna discuss is the evil eye, because over the years, throughout my time of being Muslim, it was a time when I didn't take the evil eye serious, right? And while I didn't take the evil eye serious, my surroundings, they also didn't take the evil eye serious. May even possibly thought it was like some superstition or things like that, right? So when I started to get into hadith and read the hadith where a couple of hadiths where people was affected by the evil eye, and one of them actually died, and the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to his companions, y'all killed y'all companion. Y'all put the evil eye on them. There's a hadith where there was people, Muslims, a young girl, they had like really clear plush skin, like you could see the blood flow through them, where you could see their health, just really good clear plush skin. And people would look at that and admire it and wish it for themselves and didn't want them having it and putting an evil eye on them, and then they would get blemishes. And it was when the Rasul seen the young girl and seen how her skin was, and then once she started to get these blemishes, the Rasul said, she's suffering from the effects of the evil eye. So I started to look at that and look at some of the other hadiths, like I said, the person who died, the people whose skin changed. And then as I'm coming across a Quran ayat, one that I had never really looked at in that way before, but it's talking about the evil eye. And Quran ayats that talk about the evil that people can inflict up on you when they envy you, right? And how we should seek refuge from it. And I want to discuss it because, like I said, by me being Muslim for a long time, I remember the days when the Muslims would be like, don't put those pictures up of you and your spouse because people going to put the evil eye on you. They would say, don't put it on Facebook, don't put it on MySpace, don't put pictures of your life, don't expose too much of your life because people are going to put the evil eye on you. And a lot of people really used to advise the Muslims with this. And some Muslims used to be like, hey, I don't care, I ain't worried about the evil eye. And then they'd post this and post that. And before you know it, they would be under the effects of the evil eye, but they wouldn't really know it. A lot of us Muslims don't know the effects of the evil eye, some of the symptoms of the evil eye, and we don't know how to get the evil eye off of us. And I mean, this is just a fact. So what made me started thinking about it is because when I was talking about this, the interview, inshallah, we get to do it once, the sister gets some time and settled in, and then we can, come up with a time schedule that we could get it done. And I was saying that I will go through and discuss some of the things about the evil eye, the effects of the evil eye, and the effects of waswas. So I might even do another video on the effects of waswas, and then you could tie them in and see some of these people be having these things, these issues, right? And it's cloaked under mental illnesses. Okay? So by me mentioning the way people used to say, hey, don't do this, the evil eye, this and that, I haven't really been seeing that over the, maybe the last 4 years. Not like I used to, 4 or 5 years. Like maybe after COVID. You don't really see Muslims, well, I don't. I'm not saying it don't happen anywhere. I'm pretty sure it still happens somewhere. But people really used to warn the Muslims, man, about, protecting themselves from the evil eye. And because I know some of the symptoms and the signs of it, I see people who be affected by the evil eye, and they life it just doesn't make any sense to them. And, I try to advise them, you gonna be tricked out of position, these people gonna do this and this, you don't protect yourself. So, sometimes you kind of try to advise them, but you may not use the words evil eye because they'll dismiss it. Because like I remember a time when I didn't take the evil eye thing serious, and I still see people who don't do it. So when you talk to them a certain way and you use the word evil eye, they kind of dismiss it. That's superstition, but they don't know how to tie it to the Quran. So I'm going to go over some of the effects of the evil eye. And some people may suffer from some of these things in their life. Right? And I went to visit a Muslim. This is basically before Fajr on Sunday. So this was Friday evening. And by the way, for those, for the brothers who's here, Friday after Jum'ah, I did offer the janazah prayer for the brother. May Allah accept it. So whatever the circumstances be, I ain't keeping it posted. A prayer has been offered for the brother. So I went to go visit another Muslim, right? And he was someone that I used to warn about the evil eye. And I see basically right now he feels like he still believes in Islam. He don't want to call himself a Muslim because the way he lives, basically. He don't want to put a bad light on Islam. But the shoulder effects of our thinking, and sometimes waswas and the evil eye mixed in with a life of sin, this can lead to being disoriented. So he's in a situation, and I'm gonna word it this way. So he's in a situation, right? While he was in this situation, he felt like life is good. Life really wasn't good, but he said, I'm content with living this way. I accept this. It works for me. I'm not happy with it, but I can live like this for the rest of my life. So then something went on where he left this situation. And he left this situation for a couple of months. Right? Then he goes back to the situation, and in the exact same situation that he was in, exact same situation, exact same circumstances, with a little bit of differences. But now he feels like I need to make moves to get myself together. But he's steady getting comfortable. He's reacclimating to this environment. So he's getting comfortable to the point where he's not making moves to get up out of it. But this was the same situation he was in. So it's showing when he was in a situation, he thought I was content with it. But then when he left the situation and then come back to the situation, he looked at the situation, although it's the same situation, and said, I need to get away from this. I need to get my life together. I'm looking crazy. But this is the same crazy you was looking before. So it's showing a mentality. Sometimes when you get comfortable in bad situations, you don't see that as wrong. But sometimes it's because the evil eye has been put on you. Now you realize, okay, this situation really ain't that good. I need to get up out of it. But I'm reacclimating to this system. I'm getting re-comfortable in it, which might breed the same mentality, because I'm sitting up with him And it's starting to breed the exact same mentality where you're going to get comfortable in it. And before you know it, a whole bunch of time is going to pass and they're going to stay stuck there. Hope, inshallah he doesn't. But the effects of the evil eye, man, can really do something to your mentality. And especially when waswas step in and you can find yourself stuck. You can find yourself stuck. Like let's say an example with like some Muslims. No, I'm not going to do that. Let me go to this Quran ayat where about the evil eye, and then we're going to discuss some of the effects of the evil eye, and you may see what some of this is on your life, and then you may have people around you that's jealous of you. They may be close, they may not be close, they envy you, and I'm gonna pull up and define the difference between jealousy and envy. Let me get that pulled up real quick. Let's pull up envy first. So, when you pull up envy, their definition is, right, as a noun, a feeling of discontent or being resentful and a longing aroused by someone else's possessions, qualities, or luck. So basically, you feel some discontent about somebody else's job, somebody else's relationship, somebody else's cars, somebody else's clothes, somebody else's money. And you also feel resentful. And then you have a longing arousal to have that, what they have, or to have some of their qualities, their character, their mannerism, their demeanor, but to a point where you don't want them to have it. You want them to lose it. Right? So the evil eye, so we want this envy. You don't want them having it. You want them to lose it, right? And let's pull up jealousy to distinguish the two. Because they do go hand in hand. They go hand in hand. Right? So with jealousy, this is a weak definition. A state of feeling or being jealous. Well, maybe I shouldn't have looked up jealousy. Let's just pull up jealous, right? So, feeling or showing envy of someone or their achievements and advantages. Or feeling or showing suspicions of someone else unfaithfulness in the relationship. Though that is a form of jealousy also, right? But with jealousy, like in a deen where it say another Muslim can be jealous of another Muslim for certain things, their wealth, right, their knowledge, right, the hadiths on it, but you don't want them to not have it, and you don't feel no discontentment like I don't like them because you have this. I feel some resentment because you have it. Envy is when that jealousy has bred a small bit of hatred in you for that person. Where you may start to hate on that person. You start to wish bad on that person. You want them to lose the good that is in front of them. Of what they have. Whether it's the look that they have, whether it's the demeanor that they have, whether it's the mannerism that they have, whether it's their clothes, their house, their spouse, their job. And I'm labeling these things because once we go through some of the effects, where you could notice the effects of evil eye on you, you will notice some of these things. So when he had his Quran ayat in Surah 68, ayat number 51, where Allah Azza wa Jal tell the Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, where But we're going to do ayat number 50. Right? Yeah, well, we're going to do ayat number 50. Where it's saying, then his Lord chose him, making him one of the righteous. So we're going to get a little pause there. Because Allah may choose us for our particular situation. The person we married to. The jobs we may have. The success in the job. We may climb up the ladder. The people that's in charge may take a liking to us that they don't take to the others. They may listen to us. They may come to us for advice. They may put us in charge or have us do some training. And other people feel some way about it. But Allah put us in that position. Allah may put us with somebody that's doing these things for us and treating us this way as a spouse. And then some other people, they don't like that. So, like it's saying, Allah chose this particular person and making him one of the righteous. Allah choose us and make these situations for us. But then the disbelievers, in this particular ayat though, the disbelievers, the ones who don't truly believe, and they can also be Muslim, outside of this ayat, because Muslims can put the evil eye on other Muslims, but mainly for this particular ayat, the disbelievers may surely almost can cause you to slip with their eyes through the hatred that they starting to develop for you, because Allah chose you. In this part, Allah chose them and made them righteous. But Allah chose you and blessed you with what He blessed you with. And then the people around you, maybe the people you work with, maybe the associates, maybe your family members, maybe even your own spouse, and maybe even your own children, will start to develop an inner hatred for you, for the things that you have. And it can cause you to slip. It could cause you to fall off. It can cause you to lose these things where you slip and get careless, and then you fumble. And then you fumble what Allah is trying to bless you with. And then you might find yourself right back in that revolving situation where you stuck in the exact same situations, because this don't require change, and then the other one may possibly do. One may require some deep reflection, and the other one wasn't. But like how I'm saying with my homie, due to the little bit of hatred and things that people have for you, your elevation through your job, your little cars that you drive, in your situation, your Islam, now all of that is slowly but surely slipping away. You know? And then you have these people around you who just constantly hating on you, but you feel like you need these people around. People know people hating on them. People know people have this jealousy and envy for them. But sometimes people want people to be jealous of them, so they tell all of their business, man, to the same people that's putting the evil eye on you. But we reading this ayat to show that the evil eye is a real thing. Allah is saying, with their eyes, through that inner hatred, that evil eye, it can cause you to slip. It can cause you to fall off. It can cause you to trick yourself out of position. Yeah. So then we're going to look at another Quran ayat, inshallah, actually a surah, but I want to pull up, and I went through here instead of busting out some of the books, just for everybody else where this is pretty good. There's more that you could find, but I wanted to Google it so that other people can find it on Google, for people who don't have books and don't know where to go to. Google isn't always accurate. This right here is fair. There's a little more detail and different things when you have books, but this is pretty fair. So I want to read some of the effects of the evil eye, and you may have it on you. But look at this. So some people may recognize some of these symptoms. And then we're going to show how some of it can be cloaked under what they call mental illness. So look, and like I say, this is something you could Google. It's pretty good. It's fair from the information that I do have and from the books. The books have some more details and different things, but for just a little small something, this is pretty good, right? So it say the evil eye is a curse from a malevolent glare, right, from the eye, because what they seeing is causing the hatred to develop inside, where the envy is growing, because it's starting from what they seeing, what they looking at, this malevolent glare, believed to bring misfortune. Misfortune, mess your job up, because that's your livelihood. You got goals, you got plans, you need your job to do it. Mess your job up. Mess up your means for your well-being. Your spouse, this future. You could be headed towards the future. You could be going towards this. Mess up your situation with your future or your present spouse. And then go back to the situation that's unfavorable and try to dig your way up out of it with no income. See, you was almost out of it. Okay? Illness. You just keep getting sick out of nowhere. Stomach sicknesses, nasal sicknesses, nauseas. Like, dang, why am I always sick? Drink some water, water made me sick. Eat a piece of candy, candy made me sick. Eat some meat, meat making me sick. So, misfortune, messing up your livelihood, or all of a sudden out of nowhere you just have problems at work. My job is fine, I'm good, I'm in good with the people. Now they pulling me into the office over something I ain't even got nothing to do, and something I wasn't even aware of. Yeah. Misfortunes. Not only with your job, but more than that. Then illnesses. And then they put the term bad luck. But, the Muslims don't believe in luck, good luck or bad luck. But when they put in bad luck, it's just like you Steve Urkel-ish. Things just different little goofy stuff start happening. You trying to walk through somewhere and you just trip over a table. You go outside and fall on your steps. You go in the bathroom and you may brush in your hair, and then the brush just fly out your hand somehow and crack your mirror. Little stuff just keep happening to your car. You go and put your favorite shirt on, and then as you're putting it on, somehow it rips. So when they say bad luck, it's referring to like just little stuff like that. You're washing dishes and somehow you take a fork and poke a hole in your finger. Little stuff like that. So they just put on the terms as bad luck. then with certain effects, including things like this. Just a sudden headache. You could be laying down and you could be chilling, then all of a sudden you be like, dang, I got a crazy headache. Where this headache coming from? See, all these are effects of the evil eye. Fatigue. Not like I'm tired where I need to go to sleep, but just a physical fatigue. You feel fatigued. You know, like your body need more rest, or like you've been doing a lot of exercise, or like you've been working hard, but you just fatigued. You know, like you can sleep 8 hours, 9 hours straight, and then you just laying there like, I don't even want to get up. I'm feeling drained. I'm just feeling fatigued. But this just keep happening. All of a sudden, you just got headaches. All of a sudden, you're sick. Sip a cup of coffee. Man, coffee making me sick. But I drink coffee every day, all day. I'm fatigued. I'm laying here. I don't know what's going on. Right? Anxiety. And anxiety comes in many different forms. But mainly your anxiety just keep some type of fear on you of moving forward, to where it can almost turn into a panic attack. To where you start panicking. You know, I was listening to my cousin, and they said something like, you know, people with these anxieties and this mental illness, because they deal with people, they counsel people, where you have people who actually scared to eat. I'm scared to eat. I don't even know why I'm ready to eat. People be in relationships that's good for them, and they fight it and sabotage it. I'm scared of it. I don't know why. It's causing me to panic. What is this? Love makes me scared and panic. I need discomfort. Just different things. But these are things that they call what? Mental health issues. Different anxieties. I don't know why I keep having this anxiety. I never had anxiety before. The evil eye. I remember a time, man, one of the times when I realized that I had the evil eye on me. Anxiety was something that I never paid attention to. I didn't know nothing about no anxiety. And then I remember it was a person who wouldn't even come out of a bedroom. So, you know, I used to do things like get them up and force them to go in the grocery store with me. And they would be like, you know, I hate going in grocery stores. I hate going around people. You know, I start having anxiety. You know, I won't even want to go look for a job, because going to ask for an application, because this was in a time where you still could go get a physical application instead of online. It gives me anxiety just to go ask for an application. So I'm like, what is this? You know, and then we was actually in the grocery store running stuff through the self-checker, and they was like almost going into a panic attack, because somebody was even getting closer, getting to the next one. They was like, see, it's starting. They started when we started walking in. It's anxiety. It's a fear, like I almost want to leave. But sometimes I force myself to go through the store because I have to get stuff. So I'm like, dang. But it was somebody I felt like that people put the evil eye on them. I know for a fact they did. And I would be around the same people. And then they would try to cause me some of the same turmoils, and then would lie out of the blue. When I started going to the grocery store, I started feeling anxiety. And I was like, whoa. I would be getting ready to go in the store, and I would feel like people looking at me, and, you know, and I would get like this little nervous energy. You know, and then sometimes my breathing would be like, you know, like my breathing would be off. Like I needed to try to catch my breath or something. And I would be like, man, what is this? Like, why am I having anxiety? But I was dealing with the same environment that they was dealing with. Wallahi. And I ain't know why. So then I really had to go start looking into, man, this anxiety thing. And then I had to start looking into it. I'm going to go to the dean first. Let me look into the evil eye. Let me look into this. But that anxiety and just seeing somebody, like I said, I didn't even know it was a thing. And this was another Muslim I was around. And they was talking about it. And I was continuing to be in that same environment. And the people who was causing them problems and saying certain things because I was helping that person, they started to wish the same type of stuff on me. And they wanted me to get away from that person. They didn't want me helping that person. They didn't want that person getting help. And then as I started to help this person and pull them up out of this depression and these things they was going through, these people started to cause turmoil for me. And I started getting anxiety. But I started giving myself them ruqya baths, man. Wallahi. And I mean, it took me a second to get that up off of me. So then, another one, like it's saying, an unexplained sickness. Like, you have a type of sickness, and you keep going to the doctor and things like that, and the doctors and them like, well, we don't really know what's wrong with you. We done put you in this machine, we done checked your blood, we done checked your urine, we done looked in your ears, your mouth, your nose, we done listened to your heartbeat from your chest and your back. We know we'll run some more tests, but we can't figure out what's wrong with you. You just have a sickness that's unexplained. I don't even know why I'm sick. Just like it was a famous person who didn't even leave his house when COVID started. Didn't leave his house, didn't order nothing, didn't even go around nobody, and then boom. Somehow he just caught COVID and wasn't even around nobody. And almost died in his home. You know, just a unexplained sickness from nowhere. These is effects of the evil eye. Relationship problems. Yeah. When you have the type of relationship that people envy, all of a sudden, the relationship problems start. Financial setbacks. You in a situation you trying to get out of, you need your job, you need your income. Now something happened, this is the financial setback. Or all of a sudden you trying to save your money up, now you got to do this to your car. You trying to save your money up, now you got to do something else to your car. You trying to save your money up, now you got to do something different in your house. You just continue to have different financial setbacks. These are the effects of the evil eye. Right? And just a general drain of energy. You feel lackluster. I really don't even have no energy. This is like tying into like that fatigue. I just want to lay around. I don't even really have the energy to get up and go in the kitchen and make something to eat. I'm just getting sick out of nowhere. These is effects of the evil eye. And then it says it's often targeting people with some form of success because people become jealous of them. And like I say, symptoms can range from physical ailments even to the point where you might get to the point where you're vomiting, where you might start having fevers, where you're starting to have weakness and a paleness. And then also from physical ailments to emotional distress. You irritable, you irritated, you just start feeling a sudden sadness. All of a sudden, you like, let's say you just laying next to somebody that you love, your spouse, and you feeling good. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you just get irritated. And then in the next moment, you might be looking at them, and then all of a sudden, you might start getting sad. And then some anxiety might start kicking in. You know, these is effects of the evil eye, right? And then like it says, persistent bad luck, like broken items, accidents, like the things that I was explaining, right? So then again, going through some of the physical effects, headaches and pain. Different migraines, earache, back and shoulder pains, tingling through the body, some of your limbs just going from hot and cold. Effects of the evil eye. Fatigue and weakness, sudden tiredness, apathy, laziness, and just feeling drained. Even for a simple conversation. This conversation is just draining. I'm feeling so drained. I even hear people, they be yelling, I'm tired, I'm tired. And don't even be doing nothing. Because it be a mental tired. These are the effects of the evil eye. Digestive issues. A poor appetite. I'm hungry. I ordered all this food. I just nibbled at it. I'm hungry, but I don't have an appetite. Then nausea. Well, then when I do eat, though, because this is tied to the digestive issues, when I do eat something, when I do drink something, it makes me nauseous. Excessive burping or gas or diarrhea. Just burping out of nowhere. Excessively. Passing gas out of anywhere. Excessively. And diarrhea. These are effects of the evil eye. Other ones, sweating, frequent yawning, palpitations, vision issues. My eye something keep going on with my eye, but I can't figure out where it is. Why is this happening? I go here, my eye is doing this, it's burny, it's this, and then when I go over here, my eye is at it again. Or my eyes. Fever, paleness. These are effects of the evil eye. And I'm telling you, sometimes I be around people and everything that I'm listing from this, and like I said, I intentionally went to Google so people who don't have books can look these up. They could believe them or they don't. But I done been around people, wallahi, and may possibly seen every last one of these situations. Even people who be in two relationships. one physical and then one non-physical, and they have relationship problems in both of them. But it has nothing to do with what's going on, but it's the evil eye. But at the same time, these same people be like, man, these people really be hating me, man. They really don't love me. They really don't never want no good for me. They don't want my relationships to be this way. They don't want me to have no money. Every time I have a job, I have to leave my job because of them. If I have a job somewhere, they'll show up and make sure I quit. But the thought of the evil eye never crossed their mind. And they Muslim. And all of these symptoms, and other people, like I say, the brother, all of these symptoms, man, they have. So that was the physical effects. So these are the mental effects. Anxiety and irritability. Feeling restless and angry for no reason. Or also crying for no reason. Or it may be a reason to have a little bit of anger, but the anger is just going through the roof. From 0 to 100. And it may be because of something that you did. My anger is just through the roof. I'm irritable. I can't take this. This isn't right. And then may cry about the same thing. Just excessively crying and keep crying and keep crying. This is some of the mental and emotional effects of the evil eye. The first list was physical. So then, like I say, feeling restless, and restless is like, oh, I need to figure out to do something. I need to move something. I need. I can't sleep. I'm fidgety. I need to get up and I need to just fold clothes. I need to change the whole house around. I need you know. These is, and it's just out of nowhere. Why is this? Why do I need to get up? I'm even like I need to go somewhere else and clean somebody else's house up. These is the effects of the evil eye. I've been like this for years. I don't know why. I need to stop fighting it. These is the effects of the evil eye. Then sadness and depression, but it's an unexplained sadness or apathy. Like, this relationship, man, is cool, this and that, but why am I sad about it? These are situations that I should be happy about, but I'm sad about it. So why am I sad? Maybe this is a sign I shouldn't be in it. Maybe this is a sign that I should be doing something else. And then the waswas might come in. These is effects of the evil eye, right? And let's pull up, because I like to do the definition for people, right? We're going to pull up apathy. Apathy is a lack of interest or enthusiasm or concern. One minute you're interested in something, then the next minute you're not. Hey, I want me a dog. 2 days later, I don't want this dog. I done lost interest. Hey, I want me a baby. An hour later, I don't have baby fever no more. Hey, I want to be in a relationship. An hour later, no, I don't want to be in a relationship. How about we do this? No, I ain't interested in nothing, man. I don't even want to leave the house. A lack of interest, man, enthusiasm. So this is for apathy. And what was the other one? And just a real serious concern. Hey, man, just F it all. It don't even matter at this point. These are effects of the evil eye. Yeah. Continuing. Fear. An abnormal fear or strong reactions to stress. Just scared for no reason. I don't know why I'm fearing this. I don't know why I have a sudden fear about going out, opening my door and walking on my porch. I don't know why I have a fear of going into this grocery store. I don't know why I have a fear of talking to this person. I don't even know why I have a fear of answering this phone. Just whatever it is. And as I'm listening to these symptoms, man, some people know that they could relate. They know all this. But you could go to the doctor and start to discuss these type of things, and they're going to diagnose you with some form of a mental illness. You got some mental health issues. You got these disorders. You got that disorders. And these things, if you tie in the effects of the waswas, the whispers from the shaitan, the shayatins, and then on top of that you disobedient to Allah Azza wa Jal, then Allah Azza wa Jal might allow you to continue to suffer from these things. And then you might become disoriented. But it's like the shaitan playing with your mind. You can't make clear decisions. You see? So then the next one, but outside, I skipped this one. The next one, lack of focus. You have difficulty concentrating on works, studies, prayer, relationships, getting your life together. And then once you try to get focused or you're doing something, you're in the house, then your phone ring. Or then somebody send you something and now you watching some type of TikTok reel. A lack of focus. We have a difficulty in concentrating. And then you might have some form of confusion and say the person who trying to help you realize you under the effects of the evil eye and let's do this and that. You might be like, man, maybe you the one putting the evil eye on me. When these people, because I'm telling you, I done seen this. But this person is realizing you under the effects of the evil eye. You know, you being affected by waswas. All right, come on, man. Come on, let me work with you. Let me get you to the point where I could do ruqyah on you. But you just so scared. I'm scared to even taste food. It might be something green in it. I'm scared to even drink a tea. I'm scared to do anything that's healthy. But I go buy all these different forms of pills and all this other stuff that I don't have a clue that's in it. As opposed to this stuff right here that I can see. These natural grasses, these natural herbs. I'm just so scared of it. I'm just so scared to eat. An abnormal fear. Lacking a real focus. All of this is the effects of the evil eye. Yeah. Why this can't work out. Why we can't get this. I can't figure out why we can't make this work. Because you continue to let people who put the evil eye on you. And you tell them too much of your business. You can't not be quiet about nothing with it. It's the evil eye. And like I say, sometimes these things, when they go to the doctors and this and that, instead of ruqya, instead of getting right with Allah Azza wa Jal, they go get zombied. Right? So, some of the life fortunes and some of life and fortune effects. Again, the bad luck, which they saying bad luck. So a streak of accidents, broken-eyed objects, constant financial problems, relationship issues, squabbling, a bunch of quarreling, a bunch of unnecessarily fighting, or feeling negative when you're around the family and friends. You just have a negative feeling. When it ain't even necessary. Squabbling over nothing. Fighting over absolutely nothing. Because just irritable, sadness, unnecessary anger. Dang, man, this relationship would be perfect, but for some reason, we keep quarreling. Why is we quarreling? Oh, because all these anxieties. I'm scared to eat. I'm scared to taste this. I'm scared to drink this healthy stuff. I'm scared to eat fruit. Fruit make me sick. Vegetables make me sick. Meat make me sick. Coffee make me sick. Tea make me sick. Everything mess with my stomach. These is all the effects of evil eye. I'm hungry, but I have no appetite. I ordered some food, tasted it, didn't like it. Order some food from somewhere else, tasted, now I don't like that. Let me order some more other foods. This is all the effects of the evil eye. And like I say, sometimes in the relationship problems, some of the issues, like when you get to the books, and then the waswas sits in. Let's say your wife come through the door and she's beautiful to you. Now when she comes through the door, you don't really like how she looks. You start to see little stuff. I don't like that on her. Now the sound of her voice just irritates you. Man, I hate how her voice sounds. The hairstyle that she had was always beautiful to you. Now you don't like her hairstyle. These are some, and they cause relationship problems. These is all effects of the evil eye. Career problems, which we discussed. Continuous problems at your job and business, or you keep getting sick where you had to call off. Yeah, it's all the effects of the evil eye. And an impact on objects or animals can affect homes. Leaks, infestations, or livestock, drying milk, and so much traditions. Just certain things, it's just crazy, man. Like objects, animals, like, dogs in the house or cats, different stuff, just affecting your mood. Cat might tear up something, your dog might tear up something. You might start to have spiders or roaches. All this stuff is the effects of the evil eye. Right? So like you say, and what really causes it is often caused by people who envy or admire you. Because they hate that they can't be what you are. And where someone jealous gaze, because they seeing it with their eyes, projects negative energy onto another person. Yeah. It could be the person you're trying to break up with. They put the evil eye on you because they want your new relationship to fail. They want it, like for instance, when a female and a guy go their separate ways and the female don't want them to move on. They want what they got going on to fail. The female may move on and then the brother might want what she got going on to fail. And then next thing you know, they start failing. And then they might be, these is all effects of the evil eye. So it's interesting how this works, and they even have forms of where they talk about the evil eye in like Christianity, and like in other religions and outside of the deen, they say stuff like wear protective metals and rabbit feet and put dream catchers or the hand with the eye on it thing, which some Kafirs try to say that's the hand of Fatima, to trick Muslims into dealing with it. But it's all no-nos. So we're going to close it with a surah that Allah Azza wa Jal, 2 surahs, which is actually du'as to help you with protecting yourself from the evil eye, and then also your ruqya baths, reciting the kuls and all this type of stuff, right? So, surah number 113, where it starts off, of course, we're going to do the English. O Prophet, say, I seek refuge in the Lord of the daybreak. So we seeking refuge in Allah from the evil of whatever Allah has created. So we seeking refuge from that type of evil. For any evil that Allah has created or any evil that Allah allows. And from the evil of the night when it grows dark. Because once it gets dark, a lot of people do a lot of their crime in the dark at nighttime. A lot of people who doing a lot of creeping and sneaking around with women that they shouldn't, men that they shouldn't, they do it at nighttime. They meeting at the clubs at nighttime. A lot of the fighting and a lot of the shooting and the killing at the clubs, it happens at nighttime. So there's a lot of evil that the darkness hides at nighttime, right? So you also seeking refuge from the evil of the night when it grows dark, what the nighttime hides, right? And from the evil of those who cast spells, who curse. For our times, we'll say that wish bad on people. I'm wishing bad on you. I'm speaking bad on you. People who say stuff like, if you don't change this and that, may Allah Azza wa Jal break your back. If you don't do this and this, may your back be broken. Certain people who get mad at people, like you'll see it all the time. Some people, married people, may get mad at each other and be like, I hope your car wreck. I hope you get fired. From the people who do those type of things, right? So you seeking refuge also from the evil, from the people who do those type of things, casting spells and people who blow knots. This was a form of something that they did back then, right? But it comes in many ways. And the very last one, and from the evil of an envious one when they envy you. It's the evil eye. So say this, and this is a dua. So me, when I recite this, I always say I mean at the end. May Allah to accept that dua. This is what you say to protect. A'udhu billah. I seek refuge in Allah from these things. This is a dua. Surah number 114. Another dua. When Allah is telling, say this, right? This is something that you say. You seek refuge in Allah from these things, right? I seek refuge in the Lord of humankind, of mankind. The master of mankind, right? And, in Allah, from the evil of the lurking whispers. The whispers from Shaitan, the whispers from Shayateens, right? The evil of the lurking whispers. Even if it's somebody sitting around just waiting till you come around so they can whisper some foolishness into your head to get you to mess up your situation. And from the ones who whisper in the hearts of mankind, right? From among the jinn and from amongst the humans. I mean, seek refuge from these from the waswas, right? And from the evil of the lurking whisperers. You understand? People who just sitting around lurking and waiting for their moment to whisper some foolishness in your head to trick you out of your position. So this one, protection from the waswas. 114. 113, protection from the evil eye and these different type of evils, and the evils are the ones who wish bad on you. They just refer, casting spells, which is like terminology that we don't use. People who wish bad on you. So Allah is informing us and give us 2 surahs, which both surahs are du'as, where you seeking refuge in Allah from protection from these things. So you got to watch your people, man. You got to watch your people. And when people have enough people jealous of them and they envying them and they just can't figure it out, you suffering from the effects of the evil eye. You suffering from the effects of the evil eye. You need to do some ruqya. And this isn't like jinn possession, where the ruqya for like a jinn possession and different things that could go on. Because yes, people do get possessed by jinn. But anyway, man, inshallah, this will help some people. And let me get to what I need to get to. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.